What's up guys, back with another Honkai Star Rail video. In this video we are going to talk about what are the best planar ornament sets you can be farming for the double drop rate that's coming up. Now there are a few things to consider with the double drop rate. Obviously it's going to change a little bit depending on what characters you have left to build. This guide isn't going to be foolproof for every single person, but it will help you if you have a large majority to farm. Now, let's go over each of the Planar Ornament sets before, I tell you which is the best one to farm. And I'm going to reveal some stuff at the end, which is rather unfortunate. So, for the first world, which is World 3, because World 2 and 1 do not have ornament sets, it is going to be the HP set and the attack set. Now, unfortunately, the attack set is pretty much not used with anybody. You're better off running some of the other ones now, so no one really uses it too much. And the HP one is decent. It gives attack, so you can run it on supports for dot units. And if your unit scales with HP, such as a healer or Fushuan for her ultimate to heal you, you can use that. So this one is pretty decent, but unfortunately, like some of the other ones, it is dragged down by the fact that you don't really use Space Sealing Station anymore. But this one's decent, right? Then we have probably the most controversial one for me, which is Break Effect. You can use this on Ruin May if you do not get the right rolls, which I have this because I kind of just mushed everything together for Ruin May, had a build that worked and called it a day so I could farm other stuff. And then we have Von Whack. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Von Whack, but it can be useful to have a couple pieces of this around. Maybe get some generic ones like an energy regeneration rope and then like an HP orb or an attack orb and kind of call it a day there, just so you have it if you need to slap it onto somebody. So this one isn't too bad if you don't have Ruan May built yet, or if you're looking for a like break effect build. I might farm this just because I don't have any pieces for this. Then we have World 5, which is probably the worst one. No one uses this, and this one is super niche. You pretty much only use it on Black Swan, so there's that. And that's pretty much it. Like, I think Silverwolf technically used this. I think my Silverwolf has this just to get more effect hit rate, but it's not anything crazy by any means. Then we have World 6, which has the defense one. I think March 7th is the only user who uses this. The MC and Jeopard both use a different thing. I think they're running Broken Keel, but this one's okay because it gives more defense and effect hit rate for March's freeze. I know people kind of just like use her for the freeze most of the time. I'm not saying everybody does, but that's the real only reason I can see people running this. And then we have Inert Salasto. I've never actually said that one out loud. Anyway, this one is pretty good because it's ultimate and follow-up attack. Now, a lot of characters will just be spamming their ult. Follow-up attack for like Ratio, Jingyun, Himiko. This one is pretty solid, but it's dragged down by the other one. It's really very similar to World 3. It's dragged down by the second one, which really sucks. I do wish that you could like tip it in your favor to have one over the other, but it is what it is. Then we have World 7 and 8, which I personally think are the best ones to farm because they have the most units they can use for. Broken Keel is super universal. You run it on pretty much every single support that is supporting a crit rate, crit damage character. You can run this on units like Asta if they're not on a dot team. You can run this on Ruin May if they're not on a dot team. It's pretty much, if you're not running a dot team, you can slap this on your support and call it a day, and it's pretty good. Same with Penacony Land of Dreams if you're running Pela with Jinglu, if you're running Bronya with Blade, if you're running Tingyun with Jingyun, if you're running Hanya with Argenti, whatever it may be. This is good, right? The main two supporter sets are going to be Broken Keel and Penacony. It just depends on what you need for said character. And then they're paired with some pretty good ones. Well, Arena is good for characters like QQ, Jinglu, Donhang, right? And then we have Galamoth, who is used on most DPSs. It's kind of like the jack of all trades. If you don't have a good like set and you have a good Galamoth, like, in the back, you kind of can use this and get away with it for pretty much every single character. It's pretty much a universal set. However, right, there is a issue. I won't say what it does, but we should be getting World 9 soon, and World 9 is going to be the next best set. That's all I'll say, which is kind of unfortunate because it kind of makes this one a little redundant because you won't be using this anymore. You probably won't be using this anymore. Actually, let me not say you might not. You could still maybe use this, but it's looking pretty good, which kind of just knocks out all the DPS sets, which are, unfortunately, pretty much all the ones you would farm. So what I recommend you guys doing is farm for supports. The three I recommend farming for, like I said, are Pen and Connie, Broken Keel, and then Von Whack. Just do whatever you have the least amount of. Also, you can also farm this one if you need to, but I feel like since only like healers and I guess if you're running a dot team are gonna really get an advantage out of this, you can kind of just use your leftover relic remains, right? So those four would be the best ones. These two are probably going to be the most universally used, and you know, maybe do like one like run to get like your Von Whack pieces if you don't have it, or you know, just focus all on Broken Keel or Pen and Connie, whatever you need from these two. If you need the other one more, I would recommend doing that, but do keep in mind, don't go super crazy. If you only need arena for whoever you're using, keep in mind there is going to be a better DPS one coming out, and no, you can't wait. It's not going to be out before the event ends, unfortunately. It kind of stinks. It is what it is. That's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of, is that they don't tell you stuff. Similar to how Topaz people ran the fire set and then they dropped the follow-up attack set. Kind of like how this one's not too much of an issue because they're not a huge difference in power, but the imaginary set and like follow-up attack set for Dr. Ratio, and then they dropped the diver set, the debuff one. It's like, okay, like that's not very cool. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions on who you should run for what. Like I said, the best 4 to farm are going to be 8, 7, 4, and 3, depending on what you need. And the most universally used are going to be 7 and 8 for the support ones. If you do have other characters to farm, right, go ahead and farm those. Like, if you are trying to build, like, Jing Yun or Ratio, feel free to farm it, right? It's not that big of an issue. You can always convert them into relic remains at the end of the day, but you do want to kind of get the most bang for your buck and try to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. And it sucks that a lot of the sets don't really let you do that unless you don't have any characters built. Well, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know what you guys are going to farm in the comments. Personally, like I said, I'm doing Von Whack and the break effect one to try to get some good Von Whack pieces. But let me know in the comments what you're farming. Have you saved up currency? I unfortunately forgot this was coming out and then did my simulated universe. But let me know what you're farming in the comments. If you saved up for it, if you're excited for double drops, do you not care? Are you farming for Acheron? Are you farming for Sparkle? Are you farming for some other characters? Let me know in the comments, and of course, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.